Alright, so there's some big news related to hacking that occurred mostly due to the vibe coding trend that we're stuck in. So there is an app called T, basically the T app. This app is marketed as the safest for women, and this app just got massively exposed. So what happened is T app is basically an app where women, they can upload information about men that they have gone out with, and they can put details of those men, informing whether that person is a red flag or a green flag and so on, so that other women can safely navigate through all the men and decide that if the person they're about to go out on a date with is safe or not. Basically, it's something like that. Now, the problem is this app is designed and is marketed as the safest for women, but ironically, this app just got exposed for leaking the information, basically the personal information of all the verified and registered women in their app. So basically, to register in this app, all the women, they have to verify that they are an actual human. So for that, they give their government ID, which includes their driving license information, I guess, and so on. So all those information, because it did not have enough security where it was stored, it all got leaked, and now people are able to access all the information of all these women publicly. So if I go down here, T was supposed to be a vibe-coded women-first dating safety tool with background checks, catfish filters, and more. And now over 72,000 images have been leaked, including selfies, driver's licenses, and location data. This is such a huge problem because the location data and driver license for all these females have been leaked, and their photos as well, which means now people can stalk them, follow them anywhere, find their location, or get their information from their driving license, and primarily stalk them, which can cause a major issue for women because their safety is at risk. So an app meant to protect women ended up putting them in danger. How does something like this even happen? Well, it was told that the information, basically all these personal information, was stored in a Firebase storage. I'm not sure, but I read somewhere that it was stored in a Firebase storage, and it was a public bucket. And someone somehow was able to find that public bucket, and because it has no security on it, they were able to access it directly because it was not private, and they were able to leak all the information of all the verified female users using the app. Now, this is a very basic feature that should have been implemented for an app that talks about women's safety. Because if you are storing the personal information of women somewhere, you need to ensure that it should be a private bucket more than anything else. So this just proves that how this term vibe coded is becoming a trend, and it's not so good if you're an inexperienced developer. So people generally think that I will vibe code this app myself because I want to save up on costs, and a lot of fresh graduates or a lot of inexperienced people, even inexperienced software engineers, they all get into this vibe coding aspect thinking I can make quick bucks easier by shipping something, which is a very cool idea because apparently a lot of people have a lot of cool ideas, which is nice, but people forget that shipping a production level application doesn't only include coding out the idea. It includes a lot of things. It includes software architecture, the backend, the front end, handling the user authentication, managing everything at scale, storing personal data privately and ensuring it doesn't leak out. Basically a lot of system design aspects that a lot of inexperienced developers don't know and they think is not required. But on apps like these, which claim to market the safety of people, these things need to be considered. Basically, these security level features need to be considered simultaneously along with the primary features during the first launch of the app itself. You cannot put features such as security for a future release when your app itself markets itself as one that stores email information securely. In such a case, security itself becomes a feature for your application because you need to make sure that your app lives up to its name. Now, people in this era of vibe coding, because they want to ship things fast, they do not pay attention to things like this, and that is where these issues come up. If I go to the comments, you can see publicly accessible database. Yes, it was vibe coded pretty much. So if you go down here, there was an interesting comment. So for people who don't know how to program, it's the finished product. Exactly. So for inexperienced people, this looks like the finished product because it's complete, right? It's feature packed. But are you seriously going to hope that people who vibe code at all are going to pay a dev to fix it when they're done? The whole point is you're saving money. Who needs to code anymore? Am I right? God, as a professional software engineer of 7 years, I have had to even just begin refusing to look at anything that's vibe coded by default. It's usually the worst, least maintainable garbage ever conceived, and nobody wants to pay even a tenth of what it's worth to fix it. Why bother when I can just do real work for real money? This, to a huge extent, it's true. Vibe coding is obviously an amazing thing. It helps you ship code faster. It helps you bring your idea into real life so much quicker. It gives you a chance to build your own app and help a community, which a lot of people weren't able to do before this era of AI, but now everybody gets a fair chance to do something. But this sort of incident is a real eye-opener, because something like this could destroy your application's worth or image in a single moment. So just know that if you're vibe coding, just because you can see the UI, you can see the information stored in your database, and you can see everything piecing up all together, and you can visibly see things, that doesn't mean your application is done. You need to think about scale, you need to think about data security, and data security is a must, because you don't know where all the private keys for your application is being stored, whether it's being stored in an env or it's being directly embedded to your files itself. You don't know if the bucket you're accessing to store personal information, if that is private or not. You have to look into all of these things. So just know that even if you're a vibe coder, you should know system design, because the future with AI in your hands looks like this. You're going to easily be able to code things up, but you need to know how software architecture and system design works so that you can piece it all up together and ensure that an actual production-friendly app is deployed, rather than an app that is on the production, but it's only suitable for your local environment. So this is a wake-up call, a big wake-up call for everybody who wants to vibe code. Keep this in mind and ensure that even if you have to spend a few bucks to get some advice from someone who's more experienced, basically an experienced software engineer or so on, then you should spend those few bucks, because overall you're anyway saving money on dev costs. So you can use some of that money to actually gain insights from an experienced developer to confirm whether your app is secure enough or not. So I would love to know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. And if you found this video insightful, then drop a like and subscribe for more.